Okay, so write the equation of this circle in standard form. Right now, what form is it in? It's in general form, and if you can't read anything, it's just say x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 12y minus 2 equals 0. So if I'm going to write this in standard form, what is it I must do to this general equation?
First move a constant.
Okay, at some point I'm going to have to complete the square, right? Okay, so that's where you're going to put all the x's together, all the y's together, and then you bring the constant to the other side. So I'm going to rewrite this as x squared minus 10x, leave some space, because you're going to be adding a number to both sides. That was one of the processes of completing a square. Plus, and then you're going to say y squared plus 12y, leave some space, and that's going to equal what number at this point? 2. All right, so let's complete the square on the x's. So when I complete the square on the x's, just like you did on your test today when completing the square to solve a quadratic equation, is anyone still working on the test?
Me.
Who's me?
Me.
Okay. All right. So what's the first thing you're going to do?
Take half.
Take half the coefficient of x, which is negative 10, and do what to it?
Divided by 2.
Divide by 2. No, you got to divide by 2 first. Got to take half. And what do you get?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Now what do you do to that negative 5?
Squared.
And what do you get?
Positive 25.
And that's what you add to both sides. So if you're doing this correctly, this trinomial is now a perfect square trinomial. And it is, so that's going to be x minus 5 squared. And always check yourself. You want that last term to be a positive 25. Well, this is a negative 5 right here. Negative 5 times a negative 5 is a positive 25. All right, over here, you're going to take half of what number? 12. So half of 12 is 6, and then you square 6, and you get 36. You add that to both sides. Okay? And so this should now be a perfect square trinomial. So you can say plus in parentheses, what's going to be that binomial squared?
Plus 6. Y plus 6.
Y plus 6. Okay, and that's going to equal 2 plus 25 plus 36 is 63. Okay. All right. Now, so you wrote it in standard form. So this is standard form. That's what standard form looks like. Now, from standard form, so there's your answer in standard form. From standard form, you can determine the center. Now, remember, the equation of a circle in standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal r squared. So some of you are looking at this and saying that the center is negative 5, positive 6. It is not. What's the center? 5, negative 6. This has got to be written as x minus h. So x minus h, and h is 5 here. Y minus a what? Y plus 6 is y minus a negative 6. So k is negative 6. So your center is 5, negative 6. And the radius is the square root of this number, square root of 63. Okay? All right, so just be sure you can do something like this next class period for your quiz. The other thing that you need to be able to do on your quiz is to solve a system by substitution. That was one of the things you had to turn in today. So solve by substitution.
Do you want us to simplify the radius when we have a problem?
Yeah, her question is, do we have to simplify the square root of 63 or whatever the radical is? Yes. But in this case, you can't simplify this. Square root of 63 is what?
It would be 3 square root of 7, wouldn't it? Yeah. Because 9 and 7.
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you. Yes. Square root of 9 times square root of 7?
Yeah.
So that'll be 3 square root of 7?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yep.
Okay, cool.
No, you're right. Okay, so solve the system by substitution. And so, let's say we had this one. We had 2x minus 3y equal negative 8, negative 3x plus y equal negative 2. So let's say we had that system. All right, so if you're going to solve this by substitution, remember the process is you pick one equation and solve for a variable. So which equation is probably the easiest to use? The second, which variable are we going to choose? Y. So step one would be to take this equation here and get y by itself. So I get y equals, and what are you going to write on this side?
3x.
Okay, 3x minus 2, or you could have said y equals negative 2x, I'm sorry, negative 2
plus 3.
plus 3x. It does not matter. All right, so then, once I get y by itself, what's the next step?
Plug it into your second equation. Plug
Yeah.
in what y is.
Into the other equation. So this is y. I'm going to take this right here, and wherever you see the variable y, I'm going to substitute 3x minus 2. And so I get 2x minus 3 times 3x minus 2 equals negative 8.
Oh, it's an 8.
Yes, negative 8. All right, what's the next step?
Distribute
The negative 3?
Yeah.
So I get 2x
plus 9x.
minus
Oh,
9x
minus 9x. Plus 3.
plus what?
Plus 6.
Plus 6 equal negative 8. All right, what's the next step?
Mr. D, can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah.
Subtract 6 from
Okay, do what now?
yourself.
Combine like terms. So you get negative 7x, is that right? Plus 6 equal negative 8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next step. Subtract 6. So I get negative 7x equal negative 14. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so what's x? Divide by negative 7. What's x?
Positive 2.
Positive 2. So you get x to be 2. All right, so that's the x coordinate of the solution. So how do you find the y coordinate?
Plug in your x.
Yeah, just go back to that equation here where y was by itself, and where we see the variable x, you're going to substitute 2. So remember, now we got to solve for y. So I get y equals 3 times x. What's the x coordinate?
2.
2. And then minus 2. So that's 6 minus 2, which is 4. All right, now remember, the directions will probably say write the ordered pair, write the solution as an ordered pair. So as an ordered pair, what's the solution? 2, 4? Okay, so 2, 4. All right, so that was a quick review of something you're going to see on your quiz next week.